Alright folks, welcome to the channel. Siadi Lal here, and let me tell you, I am revved up today because we're diving headfirst into something truly special. We're talking about the brand new shiny and powerful 2025 Chevrolet truck models. You know, Chevy trucks, they're like an American institution, aren't they? They've been hauling our gear, taking us on adventures, and getting the tough jobs done for generations. And every year, I get excited to see what those brilliant engineers over at Chevrolet have cooked up for us next. This year, believe me, they have not disappointed. We're going to cover the whole shebang, everything you need to know. Welcome to our deep dive into the 2025 Chevrolet truck models. From the robust Silverado, a truck that just keeps getting better, to the innovative Silverado EV, which is really pushing the boundaries of what a truck can be. We've got it all covered for you. We'll be looking at the new features, the design tweaks, the power under the hood, or in some cases under the floor. We'll even get into some of the nitty-gritty like towing capacities, maintenance, and yes, even a little bit of troubleshooting for those of you who like to keep your machines running perfectly. It's going to be a comprehensive look, the kind of deep dive you expect when you're serious about your trucks. So grab your coffee, settle in, because we've got a lot of ground to cover. Whether you're a die-hard Chevy fan, someone in the market for a new truck, or just a gearhead like me who loves to see the latest and greatest in automotive technology, there's something here for you. We're going to explore what makes these 2025 models tick, what sets them apart, and why they continue to be such a dominant force on the road and off it. Let's get started, shall we? Alright, let's kick things off with the heart and soul of the Chevy truck lineup, the 2025 Silverado. You know, the Silverado has always been that dependable friend, the one you can always count on. But Chevy isn't just resting on its laurels. No sir, for 2025, they've brought in some really nice refinements. First up, let's talk about something that might seem superficial but actually makes a big difference, the paint colors. They've introduced a couple of new shades, and let me tell you, they really make the truck pop. There's this new deep metallic blue that, under the lights, just gleams, and a kind of earthy sandy tone that looks incredibly tough and ready for anything. It's more than just color, it's about personality, and these new options give the Silverado even more of it. Now, moving inside, because that's where you spend your time, right? The infotainment system. This has been an area of huge leaps in recent years, and the 2025 Silverado is right there at the forefront. We're talking a bigger, brighter screen, more intuitive controls, and faster response times. You know how frustrating it is when you're trying to navigate or change a song, and the system lags? Well, Chevy's been working hard on that. Integration with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto is seamless, as you'd expect, but it's the native system's improvements that really shine. It's cleaner, easier to read at a glance, and packed with useful features without being overly complicated. That's key. Technology should help, not distract. Of course, you can't talk about the Silverado without mentioning its biggest rival, the Ford F-150. It's the classic showdown, like Ali and Frazier, Coke and Pepsi. For 2025, the Silverado continues to carve out its own identity. While the F-150 often pushes hard on aluminum and turbocharged V6s, Chevy sticks to its guns with a strong lineup of V8s that many truck guys, myself included, still have a soft spot for. That V8 rumble, there's just something about it. But it's not just about tradition. Chevy's V8 ES are more efficient and powerful than ever. Plus, they're offering some really competitive diesel options too, for those who need that stump-pulling torque and highway fuel economy. When you put them side by side, the Silverado and F-150, they both have their strengths. The Ford might offer a few more techie gadgets in certain trims, but the Silverado often comes across as the more straightforward, no-nonsense workhorse, especially in its lower to mid trims. The ride quality in the new Silverado, I have to say, feels improved. They've done some work on the suspension tuning, and it just seems to soak up the bumps a little better. Whether you're on a paved road or a rough job site, it's that balance of capability and comfort that Chevy is really aiming for here, and I think they're hitting the mark. Ultimately, the choice between a Silverado and an F-150 often comes down to personal preference, brand loyalty, and specific needs. But what's clear is that Chevy is not standing still. The 2025 Silverado is a more refined, more capable, and more user-friendly truck than ever before. They're listening to what customers want. Great looks, a comfortable and connected cabin, and of course that legendary Chevy toughness. It's a compelling package, and it shows that even a classic can learn new tricks and keep getting better with age. This isn't just an update, it's a statement. Now, if the standard Silverado is the dependable workhorse, then the 2025 Silverado 1500 High Country, well, that's the thoroughbred stallion you take to the Kentucky Derby. This is where Chevy really pulls out all the stops in terms of luxury, comfort, and premium features. It's for the person who wants all the capability of a Silverado, but also desires an interior that rivals some high-end luxury sedans. And let me tell you, stepping into the High Country, you immediately feel that difference. It's not just a truck anymore, it's a statement piece. A mobile command center wrapped in leather and real wood trim. Let's talk about those luxury features, because that's what the High Country is all about. We're seeing things like premium perforated leather seats, heated and ventilated of course, custom stitching, real open-pore wood accents on the dash and doors, not that fake plastic stuff mind you. The attention to detail is really impressive. You get a Bose premium sound system that makes your favorite tunes sound incredible, a massive sunroof to let the light in, and ambient lighting that you can customize to set the mood. It's these little touches that elevate the entire experience. It's quiet too. Chevy's done a lot with sound deadening, so when you're cruising down the highway, it's remarkably serene inside. Under the hood of the High Country, you typically find Chevy's most potent engine options. We're often talking about the big 6.2-liter V8, an engine that delivers a fantastic combination of power and a satisfying growl. This isn't just about looking good, it's about having the muscle to back it up. Mated to a smooth-shifting 10-speed automatic transmission, the powertrain in the High Country is refined yet incredibly capable. Whether you're merging onto a busy freeway or towing your boat to the lake for the weekend, you've got power on demand, delivered in a way that feels effortless. It's that feeling of confidence behind the wheel that luxury buyers expect, and the High Country delivers. The interior design of the High Country deserves its own spotlight. It's not just about slapping some leather on the seats. Chevy has really thought about the ergonomics and the overall aesthetic. The dashboard layout is clean and sophisticated, with that large infotainment screen beautifully integrated. The center console is huge, offering tons of storage, which is always a plus in a truck. And the rear seats, especially in the crew cab configuration, offer an incredible amount of legroom. Your passengers will feel like they're riding in first class. It's clear that Chevy understands that for many High Country buyers, this truck is also their family vehicle and their long-distance tourer. So the 2025 Silverado 1500 High Country, it's more than just a trim level. It's Chevy's answer to the growing demand for trucks that can do it all. Work hard, play hard, and coddle you in luxury while doing it. It's not for everyone, sure, the price tag reflects the premium nature. But for those who want the best of what Chevy has to offer in a pickup, with all the bells and whistles, the High Country is a very, very compelling option. It shows that a truck can be both rugged and refined, a true iron fist in a velvet glove. It's a beautiful piece of engineering. Alright, let's get down to brass tacks, or maybe I should say trailer hitches. For a lot of truck owners, myself included, one of the most important questions is, how much can it tow? The 2025 Chevy Silverado 1500 continues to be a serious contender in the towing department. Chevy knows that their customers use these trucks for serious work and serious play, whether it's hauling a skid steer to a job site or a fifth-wheel camper for a family vacation. So, getting the towing capacity right and making it accessible is absolutely critical. And they offer a wide range of configurations to meet different needs. The exact towing capacity of a Silverado 1500 can vary quite a bit, folks. It depends on several factors: the engine you choose, the axle ratio, whether it's two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, and even the cab and bed configuration. We're talking numbers that can range from around 7,000 pounds on the lower end for some base models, all the way up to over 13,000 pounds for properly equipped versions, typically with the 6.2-liter V8 or the Duramax diesel. Chevy provides very detailed towing charts, and it's crucial to consult those and your dealer to make sure you're getting a truck that matches your specific towing requirements. Don't just assume, do your homework. Now let's talk engines in the context of towing. The available 2.7-liter turbo high-output engine is surprisingly capable for its size, offering a good balance for lighter towing needs. Then you have the legendary 5.3-liter V8, a workhorse that many Silverado owners swear by, providing ample power for most common towing tasks. For the heavy lifting, the 6.2-liter V8 is the king, with its impressive horsepower and torque figures making even substantial loads feel manageable. And don't forget the 3.0-liter Duramax turbo diesel. That engine is a towing beast, offering fantastic low-end torque, which is exactly what you want when you're trying to get a heavy trailer moving, plus it often delivers better fuel economy while towing. Speaking of fuel economy, that's always a concern, especially when you're hauling a heavy load. Towing, by its very nature, is going to reduce your miles per gallon. There's no getting around the physics of it. However, modern engine technology, like direct injection, variable valve timing, and those advanced 10-speed transmissions, helps to make the 2025 Silverado 1500 as efficient as possible under load. The Duramax diesel in particular tends to shine here, often providing the best fuel economy when towing heavy. But even the V8s are more efficient than their predecessors, thanks to features like dynamic fuel management, which can shut down cylinders when they're not needed. Beyond just the raw numbers, Chevy also equips the Silverado with a suite of towing technologies designed to make the job easier and safer. Things like an integrated trailer brake controller, trailer sway control, and specific towing modes for the transmission are incredibly helpful. And the available camera systems, oh boy, they are a game changer. You can get multiple camera views, including one that makes your trailer seem to disappear, making maneuvering in tight spots or backing up a breeze. It's this combination of raw power, smart engineering, and helpful technology that makes the 2025 Silverado 1500 such a confident tow vehicle. It's built for the long haul, literally. Chapter 4: Peace of Mind on Wheels. Safety and warranty in the 2025 Chevys. You know, all the power and luxury in the world doesn't mean much if you don't feel safe and secure behind the wheel. And that's something Chevrolet takes very seriously with their 2025 truck lineup. We're seeing a continued emphasis on advanced driver assistance systems, or ADAS, as the engineers call them. These aren't just fancy gadgets. They're features that can genuinely help prevent accidents or lessen their severity. Things like forward collision alert, automatic emergency braking, lane keep, assist with lane departure warning, and front pedestrian braking are becoming increasingly standard, which is fantastic news for all of us on the road. One of the big headliners in the safety tech department for some of the higher-end 2025 Chevy trucks, especially the Silverado, is the availability of Super Cruise. Now, this is pretty neat. Super Cruise is GM's hands-free driving assistance technology for compatible highways. I've had a chance to experience it, and it's quite impressive. It uses a combination of LiDAR map data, real-time cameras, sensors, and GPS to keep the vehicle centered in its lane and maintain a set distance from the car ahead, all while you have your hands off the wheel, though you still have to pay attention, of course. It can even perform lane changes on demand. It's a glimpse into the future of driving, and it can really reduce driver fatigue on long highway trips. Beyond the electronic nannies, let's not forget the fundamental safety built into these trucks. We're talking high-strength steel safety cages, strategically placed crumple zones designed to absorb impact energy, and a full complement of airbags. These are big, robust vehicles, and Chevy engineers them to protect occupants in the unfortunate event of a collision. They undergo rigorous crash testing, and the goal is always to achieve top safety ratings. So, while the new tech is exciting, the core structural safety is just as, if not more important, and Chevy doesn't skimp on that. It's that belt and suspenders approach to safety. Now let's talk about warranty, because that's a big part of your peace of mind when you're investing in a new vehicle, especially a truck that you might be relying on for your livelihood. Chevrolet typically offers a competitive warranty package. You'll generally get a bumper-to-bumper limited warranty, which covers most components for a certain period of years or miles, whichever comes first. Then there's the powertrain limited warranty, which usually extends for a longer duration and covers the engine, transmission, and drivetrain components. Specifics can vary by model and year, so always check the latest warranty booklet for the exact terms and conditions. Additionally, Chevy often includes benefits like roadside assistance for a certain period, which can be a real lifesaver if you have a flat tire or run out of gas. For the Silverado EV, there will be specific warranty coverage for the battery and electric drive components, which is crucial for electric vehicle buyers. Overall, the warranty coverage is designed to give you confidence in your purchase and protect you against unexpected manufacturing defects. It's always a good idea to understand what's covered and for how long, and to follow the recommended maintenance schedule to keep your warranty valid. It's all part of owning a new vehicle. Chapter 5: The Electric Frontier Maintaining Your Silverado EV. Alright, let's shift gears, or, well, maybe not gears in the traditional sense, and talk about something really exciting, the Chevy Silverado EV. Electric trucks are here, folks, and they are changing the game. One of the big questions people have about EVs, besides range and charging, is maintenance. What's it like to live with an electric truck day to day? What do you need to do to keep it running smoothly? The good news is, in many ways, maintaining an EV like the Silverado EV can be simpler and potentially cheaper than a traditional gasoline or diesel truck. Think about what an internal combustion engine has. Hundreds of moving parts, oil changes, spark plugs, belts, filters for air and fuel, complex exhaust systems. The list goes on. With an electric vehicle, a lot of that just disappears. The electric motor has far fewer moving parts than a gasoline engine. So, right off the bat, you can say goodbye to oil changes. That's a big one for many people, both in terms of cost and convenience. No more crawling under the truck or scheduling appointments every few thousand miles for an oil and filter swap. That alone is a pretty nice perk, wouldn't you say? So what does need regular attention on a Silverado EV? Well, some things are common to all vehicles, electric or not. Tire rotations are still crucial. With the instant torque of electric motors and the heavy weight of batteries, making sure your tires wear evenly is very important for safety, performance, and getting the most life out of them. You'll also need to keep an eye on tire pressure, just like any other car. Brake fluid will still need to be checked and changed periodically, though perhaps less frequently. Why? Because EVs use regenerative braking, where the motor helps slow the vehicle down and puts energy back into the battery. This means the traditional friction brakes often don't work as hard, so brake pads can last much longer. Then there are EV-specific items. The battery pack, the heart of the Silverado EV, is a sophisticated piece of technology. While it's designed for a long life, periodic inspections of the battery cooling system and connections might be part of the recommended maintenance schedule. This ensures everything is operating efficiently and safely. Software updates are also a big part of modern vehicles, especially EVs. These can often be done over the air and can improve performance, add new features, or optimize battery management. So, keeping your software up to date is like a tune-up for your electric truck. Overall, the maintenance schedule for a Silverado EV is likely to look quite different, and generally less intensive than its gasoline counterpart. You're trading oil changes and spark plugs for battery health checks and software updates. It's a new way of thinking about vehicle care, but one that promises fewer trips to the service center for routine stuff. Of course, it's always essential to follow the manufacturer's recommended maintenance schedule, which you'll find in your owner's manual. That's the best way to keep your Silverado EV performing at its peak for years to come, and to protect that all-important battery warranty. Chapter 6, Sizing It Up. Choosing the right bed for your Silverado. You know, when you're buying a truck, one of the most fundamental decisions you gotta make is about the bed. It's not just a cosmetic choice. The size of your Silverado's bed directly impacts its utility, how you can use it, and even how it handles. Chevy typically offers a few different bed lengths for the Silverado, and understanding the differences is key to getting the truck that's truly right for your needs. We're generally talking about a short bed, a standard bed, and a long bed, though the exact names and dimensions can sometimes vary slightly by cab configuration. Let's start with the short bed. This is often paired with crew cabs, where maximizing passenger space inside is a priority. A typical short bed might be around 5 feet 8 inches to 5 feet 10 inches long. Now this is great for folks who need the versatility of a truck for occasional hauling, maybe trips to the hardware store carrying some camping gear or moving smaller furniture. The advantage of a short bed, especially on a crew cab, is that the overall length of the truck is more manageable, making it easier to park in city environments or navigate tight parking garages. It's a good compromise if you need passenger space more often than maximum cargo volume. Next up is the standard bed, which is often around 6 feet 6 inches to 6 feet 9 inches in length. This is a really popular option because it offers a great balance. It gives you significantly more cargo length than the short bed, making it more practical for hauling things like plywood sheets, which are typically 8 feet long, so they'll still hang over a bit, but it's more manageable. Longer ladders, or more recreational gear. You'll find the standard bed available with various cab configurations, and for many people it hits that sweet spot between everyday usability and serious hauling capability. It's the jack of all trades in the bed lineup. And then there's the long bed. We're talking business here, folks. A long bed is typically 8 feet long, sometimes even a fraction more. This is the choice for people who are regularly hauling bulky materials, long pipes, full sheets of drywall, or need to fit a serious truck camper. Paired often with regular cabs or double cabs, the long bed maximizes your cargo volume and length. If your truck is primarily a work tool and you need to carry as much as possible, the long bed is often the way to go. The downside, of course, is that a truck with a long bed is, well, long. Maneuverability in tight spaces can be more challenging, and finding a parking spot can feel like docking an aircraft carrier sometimes. So, when you're looking at a 2025 Silverado, really think about how you're going to use that bed. Don't just get the biggest one because you think you might need it once a year. Consider your daily driving, your parking situation, and the kind of loads you'll be carrying most frequently. Chevy also offers a lot of great bed accessories, like their multi-flex tailgate, bed liners, tonneau covers, and cargo management systems, which can further enhance the utility of whatever bed size you choose. Making the right choice here will make your life with your Silverado a whole lot easier and more productive. Alright folks, let's be real. As much as we love our trucks and as well built as modern Chevys are, no vehicle is completely immune to problems over its lifespan. Especially if you're buying used, or as your brand new 2025 model racks up the miles down the road, it's good to be aware of some common issues that can pop up in Chevy trucks, or really, any complex machine. Knowing what to look out for can help you catch problems early, and sometimes, understanding the issue is half the battle. Now, I'm not trying to scare anyone. Modern vehicles are more reliable than ever, but a little knowledge never hurts. One area that can sometimes cause headaches in any truck, not just Chevys, is the transmission. With all the hard work these transmissions do, especially if you're towing heavy loads or doing a lot of stop-and-go driving, problems can arise. You might hear about things like rough shifting, slipping gears, or even a complete loss of drive. Sometimes these issues can be due to low transmission fluid, a failing solenoid pack, or problems with the torque converter. Regular maintenance, like fluid changes according to the manufacturer's schedule, is key to keeping your transmission healthy for the long haul. Electrical system failures are another category of problems that can be frustrating. Modern trucks are packed with electronics, sensors, computers, wiring harnesses controlling everything from the engine to your infotainment system. Sometimes you might see issues like warning lights coming on unexpectedly, power windows or locks acting up, or even problems with the vehicle starting. These can be tricky to diagnose because there are so many potential culprits, from a bad sensor to a loose ground wire or a failing control module. Having a good mechanic with the right diagnostic tools is essential if you run into these kinds of gremlins. Engine performance concerns can also crop up. This could be anything from a rough idle, a loss of power, or decreased fuel economy. Causes can range from simple things like old spark plugs or a clogged air filter to more complex issues like problems with the fuel injection system, ignition coils, or even internal engine components on very high-mileage vehicles. Again, regular maintenance is your first line of defense. Using the recommended fuel, changing your oil on time, and paying attention to any unusual sounds or behaviors from your engine can help you catch small problems before they become big, expensive ones. It's also worth mentioning that sometimes what seems like a problem can be a characteristic of the vehicle or something that has a known fix or a technical service bulletin or TSB issued by the manufacturer. That's why it's good to stay informed. Maybe join an owner's forum online for your specific model. You can learn a lot from other owners' experiences. The key takeaway here is not to panic if something goes wrong, but to be proactive with maintenance and to seek out qualified help when you need it. These trucks are designed to be tough, but they still need a little TLC to keep them performing their best. Now, let's drill down a bit and talk about a specific model that's gotten a lot of attention, the Chevy Silverado ZR2. This is Chevy's hardcore off-road variant, designed to take on the toughest trails. And while it's an incredibly capable and exciting truck, like any vehicle, especially one pushed to its limits, some owners of earlier models like the 2022 ZR2 have reported a few specific concerns. It's important to remember that not every truck will experience these issues, but it's good to be aware of what some folks have encountered, especially if you're looking at a used one or just want to be informed. One of the issues that has been discussed by some 2022 ZR2 owners revolves around the transmission. Now, this truck uses the 10-speed automatic, which is generally a good unit, but some drivers have reported instances of harsh shifting, occasional slipping between gears, or a clunking sound, particularly at low speeds or during initial acceleration. Sometimes these sorts of issues can be related to transmission calibration or software, and dealers might have updates that can improve shift quality. In other cases, it could point to a more mechanical issue, so if you experience persistent problems, definitely get it checked out. Engine-related concerns have also been mentioned by a small number of 2022 ZR2 owners. Most ZR2s come with the powerful 6.2-liter V8, which is a fantastic engine. However, like any complex powertrain, isolated incidents can occur. Some reports have mentioned occasional lifter noise, which has been a topic of discussion for some GM V8s in general, or other minor drivability issues. It's crucial to follow the recommended oil change intervals and use the specified oil type to help keep that V8 happy, especially in a truck that might see more demanding use like the ZR2. Another area that sometimes comes up in discussions about the ZR2, and this is more of a characteristic than a problem for some, is related to its off-road focus, specifically tire size and its impact. The ZR2 comes with aggressive 33-inch Goodyear Wrangler Territory MT tires, which are fantastic for off-roading. However, some owners who do a lot of on-road driving might find them a bit noisy, or that they wear a bit quicker than all-terrain tires. Also, some hardcore off-roaders might wish for even larger factory tire options, but Chevy has to balance capability with everyday drivability and regulatory requirements. It's always a trade-off. It's important to put these things in perspective. The Silverado ZR2 is a highly specialized, high-performance off-road truck. Vehicles like this, which are designed to be pushed hard, sometimes reveal unique quirks or areas for improvement, as they spend more time in the hands of enthusiastic owners. Many ZR2 owners are absolutely thrilled with their trucks and experience no significant issues. Chevrolet, like all manufacturers, monitors customer feedback and field reports, and often issues service bulletins or makes running changes in production to address concerns. So if you're considering a ZR2, do your research, get a pre-purchase inspection if buying used, and enjoy its incredible capabilities. Alright, let's take a little detour into the past for a moment, because I know a lot of you out there are still driving and loving older Chevy trucks. And one transmission that saw a lot of service in heavy-duty Silverados and Suburbans from the 90s and 2000s is the 4L80E. This is generally a pretty robust unit, a real workhorse, but like any transmission, especially one with some age and miles on it, it can develop issues. One common complaint you might hear or experience is the transmission jerking or lurching, especially while driving or when shifting gears. It's an unsettling feeling for sure. So what could be causing that dreaded jerk in your 4L80E? Well, one of the first and easiest things to check is the transmission fluid. Low fluid level is a classic cause of all sorts of transmission misbehavior, including harsh shifting and jerking. If the fluid is low, the pump can suck in air, leading to erratic hydraulic pressure. Also, old, burnt, or contaminated fluid can lose its lubricating properties and cause internal components to stick or operate poorly. So, checking your fluid level and condition regularly, and changing it according to schedule, is absolutely paramount for these older transmissions. Another potential culprit, especially in electronically controlled transmissions like the 4L80E, is outdated or corrupted software in the Powertrain Control Module, PCM, or Transmission Control Module, TCM. Sometimes manufacturers release software updates to address known shifting issues or improve transmission performance. While this is more common with newer vehicles, it's something that could have been missed on an older truck. A good transmission shop or a dealer with the right tools might be able to check if your vehicle's software is up to date, though for a 4L80E this is less common now than actual component wear. More often with an older unit like the 4L80E, jerking can be caused by failing internal components. Solenoids are a big one. These are little electromechanical valves that control the flow of fluid within the transmission to engage different gears. If a shift solenoid is sticking, failing, or has an electrical issue, it can cause delayed or harsh shifts, and that definite jerk. Pressure control solenoids can also cause similar issues if they're not regulating fluid pressure correctly. Replacing solenoids is a common repair for these transmissions and often less expensive than a full rebuild. Of course, more serious internal problems can also lead to jerking, like worn clutch packs, issues with the valve body, or a failing torque converter. These are usually more involved repairs. The key is proper diagnosis. If your 4L80E is acting up, don't just ignore it. Take it to a reputable transmission specialist who knows these units. They can perform pressure tests, scan for codes, and help pinpoint the exact cause. Sometimes it's a simple fix, other times it might be more involved, but understanding the potential causes helps you ask the right questions and make informed decisions about repairs for your trusty older Chevy. Alright, let's bring it back to the modern era and talk about something that's become central to our driving experience, the touchscreen infotainment system. When it's working well, it's fantastic: navigation, music, vehicle settings, all at your fingertips. But when that Chevy Silverado touchscreen starts acting up, becoming unresponsive, freezing, or showing a blank screen, boy, can it be frustrating. It's like your truck's brain just decided to take an unscheduled coffee break. So, what can you do if you're facing these touchscreen tantrums? One of the first things to try, and this sounds simple, but it often works for all sorts of electronic glitches, is a system reset or a soft reset. Sometimes, just like your computer or smartphone, the infotainment system can get into a weird state, and turning it off and on again can clear things up. For many Chevy systems, you can do this by pressing and holding the power button for the infotainment system for about 10 to 15 seconds until it reboots. Check your owner's manual for the specific procedure for your Silverado model year, as it can vary. This doesn't erase your settings, but it can often resolve temporary glitches. If a simple reboot doesn't do the trick, the next step might be to check for software updates. Manufacturers frequently release software updates for their infotainment systems to fix bugs, improve performance, and sometimes even add new features. You might be able to check for updates yourself through the system's settings menu if it has Wi-Fi capability, or your dealer can check and install any available updates. Keeping your software current is a good preventative measure and can often be a permanent fix for known issues that cause touchscreen problems. It's like getting the latest patches for your computer. Now, if software updates and reboots don't solve the problem, you might be looking at a more involved solution. Sometimes the issue isn't with the software but with the physical touchscreen digitizer itself. That's the layer that senses your touch. If it's damaged, cracked, or just worn out, it can lead to unresponsive areas or erratic behavior. In such cases, replacing the touchscreen assembly might be necessary. This is usually a job for the dealer or a qualified automotive electronics specialist, as it involves carefully disassembling parts of the dashboard. It's not typically a DIY job for most folks. Another, more drastic software-related step is a factory reset of the infotainment system. This will typically erase all your personal settings, saved radio stations, Bluetooth pairings, navigation history, everything, and return the system to its original factory defaults. Think of it as a clean slate. This can sometimes resolve persistent software corruption issues that a simple reboot won't fix. Again, the procedure for a factory reset will be in your owner's manual, and it's usually buried in the settings menu. Use this as a last resort before considering hardware replacement, and make sure you're comfortable setting everything up again from scratch. But for some stubborn screen issues, it can be the permanent fix. Well folks, that about wraps up our pretty extensive tour through the world of 2025 Chevrolet trucks, and even a little dive into some common upkeep and troubleshooting. We've covered a lot of ground, from the fresh new looks and tech in the standard Silverado, to the sheer opulence of the high country, the impressive capabilities of the Silverado EV, and the nitty-gritty details on towing, safety, and even keeping those touchscreens happy. My goal, and Siadishlal's goal here, is to give you the information you need, whether you're looking to buy or just love learning about these incredible machines as much as I do. The 2025 Chevy Truck lineup really shows that Chevrolet is committed to innovation while staying true to the toughness and reliability that people have come to expect. There's a truck for just about every need and every budget, from the work-ready base models to the fully loaded luxury cruisers and the groundbreaking electric variants. It's an exciting time to be a truck enthusiast, that's for sure. The technology is advancing at an incredible pace, making these trucks safer, more capable, and more efficient than ever before. It's really something to see. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the 2025 Chevrolet truck models. Stay tuned for more updates and reviews on your favorite vehicles. We're always digging into the latest and greatest, and we love sharing it with you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications so you don't miss out on our future videos. We appreciate you spending your time with us here. Drive safe, and we'll see you on the next one.